Program. Homegrown radicals more deadly than jihadis in the U.S. This story, stop and think of the premise here. Somebody at the New York Times, in the midst of all that's going on in South Carolina and pretty much everywhere else, I'm telling you, folks, there is an all-out assault on the conservative way of life. Mr. Snerdley walked in here today, if I may make a brief departure, walked in here today, and he was kind of pulling what little hair he has left out. He was very frustrated over this, the Chi-Com hack of the Office of Personnel Management. They have everything on, what is it, how many people? 18 million. That's stunning. 18 million federal employees, is that right? How many federal employees are there? 18 million people. All right, 18 million people. The Chi-Coms hacked the Office of Personnel Management. And for 2 years, they were able to reauthorize their login credentials as members of this department. And they have everything on everybody. And some woman was called up to some babe from the department was called up to Congress to testify. And going, it's not any big deal. You know, I mean, this stuff happens. I mean, we spy on them, they spy on us. And there was an FBI guy who was responsible for discovering this. In the audience, he wasn't even slated to testify. And he stood up and speaking in what was out of order. It is a big deal. They know everything about 18 million people. Everything. And as we discussed when this began, it's not that they now can go out and conduct credit card fraud on these people. That's not what the Chi-Coms want. The Chi-Coms are looking for people to blackmail. They're looking for people that they can turn into agents for whatever beyond what they're learning in this hack. But the real point is that here you had a member of the regime up there, and I don't think this is just what you would categorize as self-preservation. I don't think they do think it's a big deal. Because the Chi-Coms are not that big a threat. American conservatives are the threat, and do not, folks, I know that this is going to sound, well, it doesn't sound extreme. It just sounds, Russia doesn't make sense. We're all Americans, Rush. I mean, they know. I'm telling you that as far as people like Obama and Valerie Jarrett, everybody in the regime, the media, the biggest threat they face is domestic political opposition. The one thing, ISIS is not threatening their power. The Chi-Coms are not threatening their power. The Chi-Coms are not here. ISIS is not here. But the Republicans are. The conservatives are. The conservatives run against them in elections. The conservatives want to win the presidency and as many elective offices as possible. That's the equivalent of taking power away from these people. The biggest threat they think they face is us. So anything that happens, such as this horrible, sad event in Charleston, South Carolina, immediately becomes something totally unrelated to what happened in the event. What now? The story, cleansing? A cleansing of Southern culture? What the hell is that? It can only be one thing. Southern culture is considered conservative, which is racist, sexist, bigot, and homophobe. They're getting rid of the flag, and they're going to get rid of any other symbols they can. But it's all about destroying what they think is the last Republican geographic stronghold. So when the woman at the congressional hearing on the Chi-Com hack, no big deal. It really, to them, the Chi-Coms are not the threat, and neither is ISIS, and neither is Al-Qaeda, but we are. I mean, how does Obama talk about Fox News compared to the Iranians, for example?